Good morning, November the 5th, 2024. Sun is coming up. That's pretty cool. This is a Brian Hornback Experience Express Edition, November 5th, 2024, Election Day. Probably not exactly the message. First of all, I didn't think I would do one this morning. Wasn't planning to do one this morning. But as I walk to work this morning, had an encounter this morning that really kind of brings things in perspective. It's November 5th, Election Day, 2024. You know what today's all about, right? Presidential election, Senate election, congressional election, yada, 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 right? It's a pretty sunrise pic right there. What's a year mean? 365 days, maybe 366 days on those years every four, when we have leap year, right? Had an encounter this morning. Election day, I have a tendency to sometimes go eat breakfast, and I ate breakfast this morning. The lady that waited on me, it's a Waffle House. Lady that waited on me, the guy that was sitting into the counter, left her a significant tip. And she thanked him, and he left. And then she proceeded to tell me that she was working to try to save money for to go see her daughter. Her daughter's out of state. But she proceeded to tell me that I'm not going to go into all as much of the detail as she gave me, but anyway, today is the 1 year that this young lady is clean and sober. Think about that. You know, substance abuse has affected a lot of my friends, a lot of my family. Not a lot of my family, but some of my family. But just think about that. For her, today was a pretty monumental day because it's 1 year that she's been clean and sober, and she's working toward getting to see her daughter, who's out of state. And just pretty cool. It really kind of brings everything in perspective. So today, when I'm working at City County Building, and then this evening is I'm at whatever party or election party or Facebook Live Brian Hornback Experience I'm doing. You know, lose sight on what happens with the wins and losses of tonight. Think about the struggle that young lady has gone through for the last 365 days. And what an accomplishment for her that she took what could have been a closed road for her, and she turned it into something else. And you know, alcohol's not for everybody. You know, it's obviously you need to consume it responsibly, but that's my thoughts this morning. Is that, you know, I could have chose 2 or 3 different Waffle Houses, but for some reason this morning I went to that one. And there's no chance encounters in life. We all have appointments, whether we realize it or not, whether we plan for them or not, and each interaction we have compels us in one way or another. And so that was what happened this morning. And that young lady that just happened to serve me breakfast. Kudos to you. Kudos to you and your daughter. And it's just some good news on a November 5th. All right, see y'all.